And apparently, um, Mr. Jackie Jones has a movie role, and so he will not be on this week. So, in its place of In Your Head Wrestling Radio, this is Toronto Stevie Live with a review of Night of Champions and the Raw Report. So, I hope you're all ready to go. So, Monday Night Raw. Actually, let's start with Night of Champions from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's Michael Cole and Wade Barrett begin the show with some arrivals, and then we go live to the arena, and the opening match of the night is the men's King of the Ring final match. It is the teacher versus the student, the mentor. Randy Orton takes on the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, babyface versus babyface match. Little Nate Charles Robinson is the referee. We'll get to Charles later. But the winner of the King of the Ring gets a nice little crown. And the crowd is already chanting as the match starts. Both Orton and Rhodes lock up, and the crowd's really into this. You have Randy Orton. He was the runner-up last year in the King of the Ring. And sorry, I have to put my glasses on. So actually, you had Randy Orton wanted to make amends for last year. I think it was who won? It was Gunther was the king last year. He beat Randy Orton. So but Cody was probably the odds-on favorite here, and it was rightfully so. Good match. I was kind of expecting possibly that Cody was going to turn heel because he has mentioned that his run as a babyface was coming to an end. But not tonight, no. Gonna have to delay the heel turn because Randy, I think Randy did get some at least one RKO in here. But Cody Rhodes kicked out. And then Cody, finally, I think Randy set up for an RKO, but Cody pushed him off. And Randy tried to do a heel move by removing the turnbuckle pad. Little Nate went to put it back on. And then, Little Nate, I think Randy went for a steel chair, and Little Nate took it away from him. Then he took the turnbuckle pad off. He went for Cody Rhodes, but Cody shoved him into the turnbuckle. Randy's ribs hit the exposed turnbuckle. He fell backwards into a crossroads, and Cody Rhodes pinned him to become the new King of the Ring. So your WWE 2025 King of the Ring is Cody Rhodes, and he wins an undisputed WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce were in the ring to present the crown to him. And Byron Saxton, Mr. Excitement himself, Mr. Charisma, Byron Saxton interviewed Cody Rhodes, and Cody he thanked Randy Orton with nothing but respect for him, and basically he said it doesn't matter whether it's CM Punk or John Cena at SummerSlam. He said he's going to get the belt back. So your winner was Cody Rhodes. Excuse me. They announced that WWE Crown Jewel will take place in Perth, Australia on October the 11th, and they showed the Street Profits, the WWE Tag Team Champions, at ringside, following up is a Riyadh Boulevard street fight. Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley. Um, these two have met before. Um, Actually, before Raquel got injured, I remember when Rhea was still a heel, they had a match, and I was really looking forward to it, but it was kind of sad because uh, Raquel easily got defeated by Rhea Ripley in that match. So this is their next match, a Riyadh street fight, um, and um, this time it was Rhea Ripley again, um, but um, but Raquel Rodriguez had a better outing this time. Um, they did go for some. I think Raquel set up the stairs and put it in the corner, and she actually bounced Rhea Ripley's head off the stairs, and it certainly looked like Raquel was going to win. Um, Rhea applied the prism trap, but Roxanne Perez ran into the ring to try to interfere in the match, but Rhea Ripley shoved her off. Um, and then I think she eventually did hit a. So I think she set up a table on the corner of the ropes, and then both Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley climbed on top of this table on the top rope there, and Raquel got a riptide off of the table, crashed to the mat. Rhea Ripley pinned her 1, 2, 3 to win the street fight. So, um, your winner of the match, Rhea Ripley. Next up, and I was surprised at this when the match was made on Raw, Karrion Kross, who normally doesn't even get wrestling matches on Raw. I think he's been showing up on Main Event, but he gets a match in Saudi Arabia against Sami Zayn. Um, um, so enjoy it while it lasts, because these matches are few and far between for Kross. He's there with Scarlett Bordeaux. Great entrance. But he goes for his moves, the cross jacket, the cross hammer. But Sami Zayn does indeed fight out of it. Sami, of course, is a hugely over in Saudi Arabia. And he comes back, and you have Karrion Kross yelling at Sami Zayn, telling Sami Zayn, "Say Kross told the truth." Kross went to the corner to try to do some sort of move at Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn followed him with a haluva kick. Karrion Kross crumbles to the mat. Sami Zayn covers him for the win. So I think Sami Zayn remains undefeated in Saudi Arabia. Maybe this will be like Sami Zayn's Undertaker streak. He's going to remain undefeated while WWE is in Saudi Arabia, quite possibly. So they announced that the Royal Rumble is scheduled to take place in Saudi Arabia in 2026 ahead of the United States Championship match. Jacob Fatu defends the title against Solo Sikoa. I was kind of disappointed at this match because, you had Jacob Fatu basically having his way with Solo Sikoa. Then you had the J.C. Mateo, the former Jeff Cobb, interfered in the match. Fatu hit a swanton bomb, but J.C. Mateo ran down to the ring. And then, while J.C. Mateo is distracting the ref, a mystery man runs into the ring to attack Jacob Fatu. It's none other than a returning Tonga Loa. And Solo Sikoa tries to, when Tonga Loa gets out of the ring, Solo Sikoa tries to pin him, but he gets only a 2 count. So then when the referee is distracted for a second time, and someone else interferes in the match, and it's a debuting Hikuleo. So Hikuleo, I think he hits a a choke slam onto the table onto Jacob Fatu, and then throws Jacob Fatu back into the ring. At which point Solo Sikoa hits the Samoan spike. 1, 2, 3. Winner of the match and new United States Heavyweight Champion Solo Sikoa. Really, I thought this was a mistake. Yes, if you want to introduce a new member, probably wish it had been a different method, but I guess this is setting up for a Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0 feud once Roman Reigns comes back, and I'm assuming he's going to join up with Jacob Fatu, possibly Jimmy Uso, and maybe someone else possibly against this new Bloodline, but we'll wait and see what's going to happen. They show Tiffany Stratton at ringside. They show highlights of her match at the night before on SmackDown, Last Woman Standing match. Ahead of the Queen of the Ring tournament final match, Asuka versus Jade Cargill. This one went off the rails right at the very end because let's just go right to the very end. So Asuka is like small woman versus big woman match, but Jade overcame all of the big moves, the Asuka lock. I think she tried to get that on, but Jade Cargill rolled out of it. Jade finally she hit the Jaded on Asuka, and then she went for the pinfall. And as she was rolling back, the referee was counting 1, 2, and then Jade just kept going, and Asuka's shoulder came up, but the referee just kept counting 3, even though Asuka's shoulder came up. And so I thought, well, maybe they're just going to continue the match because it was clearly wasn't a 3 count. But the referee continued to count the 3, and Jade was declared the winner. Now, this is going to be, maybe they're going to resolve this, maybe not. Actually, I don't think they're going to resolve this, but it was clearly a screw-up. Jade, normally she's pretty good with the pinfall, but I don't know, she just slid right off of Asuka. And so clearly, Asuka got her shoulder up, but she still lost the match. Afterwards, they presented the crown to Jade Cargill. Byron Saxton was back in the ring to interview Jade Cargill, and she basically said that at SummerSlam, she's coming for the women's title. So it certainly looks like it's going to be probably Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the women's title at SummerSlam, unless, of course, Tiffany loses the belt. So they promote the Goldberg will have his last match Saturday night's main event against Gunther. Ahead of the undisputed WWE Championship match, the main event, CM Punk versus John Cena for the title. Now, this one, I was really wondering how in the world they're going to book this match, because it certainly seemed like John Cena was going to keep the title, and that's exactly what happened, unfortunately. I was kind of thinking maybe CM Punk was going to win the belt, and then Rollins would cash in the briefcase and win the belt. But that didn't happen. It was like a greatest hits. You had John Cena hitting a couple of attitude adjustments on CM Punk, going for the pinfall, but CM Punk would kick out. You had CM Punk trying to hit. Um, I think he did. He hit the STF, the Macho Man flying elbow, but John Cena would not submit. Um, John Cena would get his feet on the ropes. I think he got his feet on the ropes, so CM Punk had to keep fighting. So then John Cena, I think he hit another attitude adjustment, and then Punk kicked out, and then he went for the GTS, and I think he actually hit a GTS, but went for the pinfall. But John Cena kicked out, and then John Cena went for a tackle. Punk got out of the way, and John Cena knocked out the ref. And then Punk hit another GTS, covered John Cena, but there was no referee. At which point, Seth Rollins' music hits. Punk immediately looks down at the entranceway. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman came down to ringside, and eventually what basically happened was while the referee was down, Rollins sent the henchmen into the ring. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed climbed into the ring to beat up on CM Punk, and I think they threw Punk through the commentary table, and Rollins then, with Punk back in the ring, Rollins then called for a referee to come down to the ring. Bless his heart, Little Nate came running down to the ring. He was going to climb into the ring when John Cena basically just clotheslined him, but Little Nate just took a hell of a bump and was like dead on the ring floor. Penta tried to make a save, but Braun Breaker took him out. Sami Zayn tried to come into the ring, but Braun Breaker took him out. And then Penta jumped onto the stage and took out Breaker and Sami Zayn as well. So then, back in the ring, the crowd's loving this. But then Rollins hits a curb stomp on CM Punk. John Cena basically throws Rollins out of the ring and then covers Punk. The referee runs back into the ring, counts the 3, and John Cena retains the undisputed WWE title. So that was Night of Champions goes off the air. Now, one thing I did note was that when John Cena and Seth Rollins were in the ring, Rollins went to hit Cena with the briefcase, but Cena ducked and then started beating up on Rollins, at which point the henchman ran into the ring to beat up on John Cena. So I'm kind of wondering if Cena's eventual babyface turn is going to involve Seth Rollins, because it certainly seems like this is an opportunity for Rollins to go over to SmackDown if he cashes in the briefcase on John Cena. And basically when he does that, John Cena turns babyface and starts a feud with Seth Rollins and the Henchmen. That's one way or one scenario of John Cena turning babyface eventually. We'll see how that goes. But for the moment, John Cena remains a heel. So that was Saturday night. And so Monday Night Raw, 2 nights later, Monday Night Raw comes to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of Bruno Sammartino and Larry Zbyszko and Kurt Angle. We get the arrivals, followed by Rhea Ripley. Her music hits. Rhea Ripley comes down to the ring. she's smiling. The crowd's into this. And Rhea Ripley basically asks, with Evolution just around the corner, she feels like she's got to get her priorities straight. And so Io Sky comes down to the ring, and it's basically a babyface confrontation. And so Io Sky has a microphone. She's trying to speak English. She says, "You cannot have Evolution without Io Sky." She says, "Rhea Ripley, you're wrong about one thing. You're not on top without the title." And basically, Adam Pearce said that Adam Pearce told Io Sky she can pick who she will face at Evolution. And she basically picks Rhea Ripley. So at WWE Evolution in July, it will be Io Sky defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. Babyface versus babyface match for now. Don't know if Rhea's going to make a heel turn. I certainly hope not. I think there's money in it for her as a babyface champion if she wins the belt. We get a backstage segment, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and AJ Styles walks up to him, and it looks like, but before AJ can attack Mysterio, AJ, Dominic Mysterio pulls out a doctor's note and warns AJ that he's not cleared to compete, and that general manager Adam Pearce verified it, and basically says that if AJ Styles, you lift a finger on me, you won't get a title shot. So AJ wants to attack Dominic, but he decides not to. So we head into our opening match of the night. It is the New Day defending the WWE World Tag Team Championships against Finn Balor and JD McDonough. This is a rare heel versus heel match, but the Pittsburgh crowd decided that Finn Balor and JD McDonough would be the baby faces in this match. And JD, now you'll notice in this match that JD McDonough went for his springboard moonsault again, but this time he did it on the other side of the ring where the entranceway was. So he had plenty of room in order to hit the springboard moonsault without getting himself injured, which was a smart move on his part. Great move. But the New Day came back, and back in the ring, I think it was Finn Balor. They threw, I think it was Xavier Woods threw him back up into the ring. And I think, or was it Kofi Kingston hit the Trouble in Paradise? But anyway, the crowd was into this. Finn Balor hits a sling blade on one of them out of the ring. JD McDonough threw Xavier Woods back into the ring, tagged Finn Balor. So he goes to the top turnbuckle, hits a moonsault. Balor comes back in. He hits the coup de grace, pins Xavier Woods. And your winners of the match and new World Tag Team Champions, regaining the titles, Finn Balor and JD McDonough are once again the Tag Team Champions. Great opening match. I give a thumbs up for this one. We have a recap of Lyra Valkyria interfering in the Becky Lynch-Bayley match, causing the disqualification. And then a woman named Jackie is there interviewing Bayley when she's interrupted by Lyra Valkyria. They just won't give up on this woman, Lyra Valkyria. First, they pair her with Becky Lynch, have a match, and Becky wins the title. And I thought maybe the D push of Lyra Valkyria would take place, but no, they're going to pair her up with Bayley. This will probably end up in some sort of feud with these two, but nonetheless, there's a backstage segment. Sheamus, he's warming up for his match against Rusev. Coming back from the commercial break, it is a sort of like a highlight video of Bill Goldberg, and they announced that his final match will be against Gunther at Saturday night's main event. There is a replay of Penta last Monday on Raw, hitting the sacrifice on Chad Gable. And then a video from earlier in the night shows Chad Gable, yes, with his arm in a sling, and he basically you have Adam Pearce basically wishing him good luck because Chad Gable is going to have shoulder surgery. And Gable says, "I'm an Olympian. I make my own luck." And so Chad Gable basically says he goes away and basically he tells the Creed brothers to listen to Ivy Nile. And so you had now I missed this when the show aired the first time, but you had Ludwig Kaiser in the background, some sort of spoiler. We'll get to that later. Coming back from the commercial break, Adam Pearce is talking with Nick Aldis, and they're congratulating the new World Tag Team Champions. And it's Finn Balor has a question about the women's tag team titles, and he suggests to the general managers that Raquel Rodriguez has worked very hard. She should stay the women's tag team champion, and you should just make Roxanne Perez the new one half of the new tag team champions. The general managers like this idea. However, there's a caveat to this, and that is that they're going to have to defend the tag team titles at Evolution. So there's going to be some kind of match, I guess, maybe a multi-woman tag team, multi-tag team match at Evolution for the tag titles. We'll wait and see. Coming up next was, I thought, the match of the night was Rusev versus Sheamus. This was one hell of a match that took place through multiple commercial breaks. Rusev, ever since he came back from the WWE, he hasn't really been a player. He hasn't gone for a title. He's just been kind of having matches with no real storyline. So other than, I think, beating up Akira Tozawa. So I think, they should really do something with him. Or is he just there for a paycheck? Anyway, he had one banger of a match against Sheamus. They were just chopping away at each other. At one point, Sheamus was down, and he just kept telling Rusev to hit him, and then he got up and started fighting back. They would just exchange chops. They would exchange punches, kicks. I think at one point, Sheamus hit a couple of knees to Rusev's face. I think he hit a brogue kick. But Rusev would kick out, showing how tough he was. But finally, Rusev, I think he hit the accolade, and I think Sheamus got out of it. But there was finally he hit the Machka kick on Sheamus and pinned him, and won the match. Great match. I give this one a big thumbs up. Go out of your way to see this match. It was pretty good. But like I said, I really hope that they do something with Rusev, put him in a storyline, have him chase the champion. You have who's the Intercontinental Champion? Maybe he should go after that title. Because Jacob Fatu lost the U.S. title to Solo Sikoa on SmackDown. But right now, for the life of me, I can't even name who the Intercontinental Champion is. A woman named Jackie is with American Made. They're talking, and then all of a sudden, El Grande Americano walks into the ring and just stands there. American Made and Ivy Nile are just kind of stunned because this guy is like super tall, and I was reading online that that's probably Ludwig Kaiser under the mask because he's like super tall. Anyway, American Made just walks away. Coming back from the commercial break, we get Gunther comes into the ring and he basically cuts a promo on Goldberg, and he says, Saturday night's main event, I will defend my world, I will defend my title against Goldberg. It will be Goldberg's final match. And so I think he says, I'm out here to talk about Goldberg. You saw the video highlights. You saw the highlights of Goldberg's career moments. It was violent. It was brutal, destructive. Goldberg left a mark on every opponent he faced. Just like his matches, Goldberg will sum it up in 3 minutes. Goldberg has every right to claim he's the most feared man of his generation, but I'm not afraid of him. I am not afraid of what's left of Bill Goldberg. Gunther acknowledges that Goldberg is 58 years old. And Goldberg, you want to ride out your career on my coattails. One last hurrah at my expense. This will not happen. Goldberg, you're not capable of taking the World Heavyweight Championship away from me. I know that I can beat you in under 3 minutes. My goal at Saturday night's main event is to take it slow, blow you up, outclass you in front of everybody near and dear to you. And so I just kind of like this. And I usually don't like these promos, but Gunther was right on point here, so he basically says, Goldberg says he doesn't like bullies. Too bad. Because you bumped into the biggest bully here at Saturday night's main event. I will bully you, and I will treat you like a piece of crap. There's nothing Goldberg can do about it. And now you're here guessing what Goldberg still has. Goldberg, you never had it. Anyway, now, so then Gunther says, Goldberg, you walk out and you always ask, who's next? Well, who's next for the ring general? Now, instead of Goldberg coming down to the ring, Seth Rollins comes down to the ring. He brings out Paul Heyman and the briefcase, and Seth Rollins makes his way into the ring. You have a heel versus heel confrontation. And basically, Rollins says, I'm here to congratulate you, Goldberg. We haven't seen each other since you won the World Heavyweight title. Um, and so he basically he reminds Gunther that I didn't go to Night of Champions to cash in the briefcase on John Cena, and said that he is going to. He said, "If there's breath in my lungs," I said what I said time and time again. If there's breath in my lungs, CM Punk will not be a world heavyweight champion in this company. And he flew all the way to Saudi Arabia uh, uh, to take care of business. The crowd breaks out into a CM Punk chant, at which point he says, "Congratulations, champ, to Goldberg." But then CM Punk's music hits. CM Punk runs down to the ring, and Seth Rollins takes a powder. He runs away from CM Punk. He jumps over the barricade, runs up the stairs, gets out of way, far away from CM Punk. CM Punk just stands in the ring, and I think he shoved Goldberg down on his ass before he climbed out of the ring and disappeared. And that reminded me that, I think CM Punk and Gunther may have had a stare down once before. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain this was the very first physical interaction between CM Punk and Gunther. I really hope that Punk does have one more run as a champion before he retires. I want to see it. But Punk this is it for CM Punk for the night. Meanwhile, Rollins is way up in the stands, and he's kind of celebrating that he got away from CM Punk. When you see the crowd reacting and coming up behind Seth Rollins is LA Knight. LA Knight, when Rollins turns around, LA Knight and Seth Rollins have a brawl that goes all the way into the concourse. And LA Knight just basically, he beats up Rollins for a few minutes, and then Rollins disappears. But it certainly looks like, and it is announced later, that LA Knight and Seth Rollins will have a match. So it certainly sets up the possibility that Rollins will cash in the briefcase at some point on John Cena and end up on SmackDown, because he's certainly having a lot of interaction with SmackDown talents. He did have one with Solo Sikoa and his crew before. So we'll see where this is going. In the Judgment Day Clubhouse, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. So it was Dirty Dom who's the Intercontinental Champion. Okay, so maybe Rusev should go after Dirty Dom and the Intercontinental title. But for now, Dirty Dom and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, they're all celebrating. They've all got titles. Balor says, "When you listen to Finn, you win." So Raquel is a little upset that they're replacing Liv Morgan so quickly, but she's reminded that Liv Morgan will be rehabbing, and that she's had the shirt surgery and will be out for a long time. But Roxanne Perez, she wants to be a part of the Judgment Day, and it certainly looks like she's going to have a more prominent role. Coming back from the commercial break, there's a video of Kerry Sane ahead of a number one contenders match. It's Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. And this one ended kind of strangely, because I think it was Bayley went for the Rose Plant, but Lyra Valkyria countered with the Nightwing. She attempted to pin Bayley, but the shoulders of both Bailey and Lyra Valkyrie ended up on the mat, and the referee counted 3. She immediately announced that the match ends in a draw, as both women were counted out. So it certainly looks like we're going to get a rematch probably next week in some kind of match. We get a backstage segment of CM Punk. Um, um, he says that Seth Rollins' knees haven't worked very well when he ran away. But he said that he's got receipts for Seth Rollins and his crew. He then spots LA Knight and says, I know you had issues with Seth Rollins, but you need to get in the back of the line. LA Knight reminds Seth Rollins that I am the line, yeah, and walks off. So there's multiple storylines going on here. The main one is, of course, Rollins and CM Punk, but this one with LA Knight is sort of like just a side one, probably taking place Saturday night's main event. You have Sami Zayn in a backstage segment, and then they have a tag team match: Penta and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I think the heels won this match. The heels won this match. A spear from Braun Breaker into Sami Zayn took Sami in half. Braun Breaker pinned him 1, 2, 3. So Breaker and Reed win the match. They continue to beat up the baby faces when Jey Uso runs into the ring with a chair, and he starts hitting the heels, and the heels take a powder, and then leaving Jey Uso in the ring with Sami Zayn and Penta as the show goes off the air. That was Monday Night Raw. A lot happened in this match, or a lot happened over the weekend. It was Sami Zayn. Really, Sami Zayn is really just a jobber, glorified jobber. I know they really want to make him continue to push him, but I really can't see this man winning a world title. He's more of a contender and not really a champion. But I was really impressed with the show, with this weekend. A lot of wrestling, a lot of good wrestling. So I thought maybe I would see if there was any wrestling news going on. I hit the wrong button. This one. So before I end Toronto Stevie Live, I want to remind everybody, like and subscribe, because I am trying to grow my channel. And also leave a comment if you have anything. So let me put my glasses on. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like anything recent. I haven't been watching a whole lot of AEW recently, so I really don't know what's going on that show. Yeah, like because Yeah, I can't find anything worth talking about. If there's any wrestling news, you can remind me in the comments. But um, like I said, like and subscribe to my wrestling, to my channels. I talk about wrestling, I talk about politics, and I do have some other things sometimes if breaking things come along. But I want to remind you Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. in your head wrestling radio, Jackie Jones and 1 Inch Biceps, and the Headyverse. I usually give the Raw reports. But Toronto Stevie Live signing off with this week. I'll post this on my timeline. I'll post this on In Your Head Wrestling Radio. Thank you very much. And I'll say good night, everybody.